the 10,000 arrows that could not be shot.
King Udayana was a ruler deeply fond of beauty.
A certain man, seeking to gain power and wealth,
Exploited this weakness of the king.
he found a stunningly beautiful woman and presented her to King Udayana.
She was truly a peerless beauty. And the moment the king laid eyes on her, he was utterly captivated.
Completely entranced by his love for her,
The man who had offered her was handsomely rewarded.
and even became one of the king's most trusted aides.
The king showered the woman with favor and affection. Not only did he elevate her father to the rank of Grand Tutor,
But he also built a magnificent palace just for her. Additionally, he assembled a troupe of 1,000 musicians and dancers solely for her entertainment.
King Udayana was so enamored with this woman, he was determined to make her his queen. Gradually, as his obsession grew, he found his current queen increasingly displeasing to his eyes.
A sinister thought crept into his mind.
If the queen were dead, I could rightfully install my beloved as the new queen.
With this in mind, King Udayana devised a wicked scheme.
He planned to kill the queen with an arrow.
One day, knowing that the queen would be passing by a certain corner of the palace,
He prepared his bow and arrows.
and hid in ambush, waiting silently. The king secretly pondered in his heart.
For the sake of my beloved, I must strike you down with a single arrow. You won't even know what happened to you.
Soon, the queen appeared. As soon as she stepped into range, the king drew his bow.
Took careful aim and loosed the arrow.
It flew straight toward the queen's heart.
But just as it was about to strike, the arrow suddenly curved back and fell to the ground before the king's feet.
Startled, King Udayana muttered,
How did the arrow turn back? Could it have been the wind?
thinking it was merely an unusual gust,
He nocked a second arrow.
aimed once more, and let it fly. Again, just as it neared the queen's heart, it curved back and returned to him. The king grew anxious.
He fired arrow after arrow 10,000 in total, yet every single one behaved the same way. Little did he know, the queen was deeply devoted to the Buddha.
3 years of dedicated practice,
She had attained the level of Srotapanna, stream enter, rendering her impervious to weapons.
King Udayana was entirely unaware of this.
At that moment, the queen turned to him with a gentle gaze. She softly recited the Buddha's name and offered him a kind smile.
King Udayana was shaken to his core.
In an instant, he awoke from his delusion, hurriedly dropped his bow and arrows, and fell to his knees in remorse before the queen.
Without delay, he mounted his white elephant and rode to the monastery to seek the world-honored one, intending to receive precepts and confess his wrongdoing.
Upon seeing the Buddha,
King Udayana prostrated himself at the Buddha's feet.
bowing his head in shame and self-reproach.
I have done something unworthy of the world-honored one. I was blinded by lust, trapped in my own desires, and nearly committed a grave offense against your disciple, yet it was her boundless compassion that subdued me. This has led me to realize that the world-honored one is truly the embodiment of perfect wisdom and boundless mercy. I now wholeheartedly take refuge in the 3 jewels. I implore the world-honored one to be magnanimous and compassionate, to grant me the chance to repent and begin anew.